Man Fate is a classic hidden object game, the fourth entry to the Mystery Case Files game series released by Big Fish Games in 2008. To the 30 people who still remember this game, the game brilliantly executes a creepy carnival atmosphere when the bulk of the game is hidden object scenes using clip art and really hard puzzles. The story of the game consists of you, the master detective, being invited by a fortune teller, Madame Fay, who sees someone dead at midnight, and you investigate each of the carnival workers to see who did it. You find out they die more gruesome than what you expect from their art style, and it turns out the culprit is an incel you only learn about in the last game. And thus, in the next game, the detective returns to that guy's home over and over and over and over and over and over and yeah, so imagine my shock when I found out someone looked at this game and thought to make a theatrical production of it, as recently as last year, July 2023. On paper, it could work with enough effort, and then I saw footage of what this version of Madame Fay actually was. Yeah, to say they took creative liberties with the original story would be quite the understatement. So having done some research into its production, it seems like it was made by the small company called Skyline Dance Studios in the UK. It's equally likely this whole idea came from a rogue Mystery Case Files fan, or some dude who wanted something carnival related to make a production out of. The company's apparently done similar productions on other IPs, but doing this with Mystery Case Files of all things is so weird to me because it's like by far not popular in the mainstream at all by every metric. The only time you could really argue the series was maybe known by the public is by like the early 2010s, but by like the 2020s, god no. That's honestly why they probably took out the Mystery Case Files title in the Madam Fate game logo and replaced it with their own company title. By the way, I do genuinely wonder about the legality of all this. Like, besides blatantly taking the game's logo in the poster and in the actual production, no post by Skyline Dance Studios ever credits the original game for the production, and none of the comments ever point this out. They also straight up copy and paste from the original game description. They don't even bother removing the comma that makes the whole announcement post grammatically incorrect. It's quite funny to me that it is very likely that literally no one in this auditorium, including the dancers and the audience, actually know the production was based on this old ass obscure game only the 15 people in the Mystery Case Files fandom still talk about. I also still have no idea what the production story actually is outside of the dances. All of the footage I've seen is the choreographed dances, and all the performance costumes look nothing like the original carnival workers. I really do wonder how they pull off the ending of this performance because the original game ending inherently requires having played an entirely separate game and connecting towards the sequel. Honestly, I don't have a grudge against anyone in Skyline Dance Studios for this. I find it quite genius to look into hidden object games of all things to make a dance performance out of. Watching people dance is not my cup of tea, but I do wish the best for everyone involved in the production. So yeah, overall this is still more coherent than some of the recent Mystery Case Files games.